All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market today, 21st Tuesday. Now I've already put the Astro hours onto your website and I've plotted them here along gold. This was the zone yesterday we were looking at. Let's take a look. Remember with gold yesterday we said we've got room to go up and our first resistance was going to be that level there, 61. So 1988, but that figure yesterday was that 1992. All right, so that was a price as well. So the market did come up into that. So now we've got a new setup here. Let me just refresh this so you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, you see that's a new setup. All right, this setup happened on the daily after this bar closed. Now we've got an up move on the weekly. You can see that next target is 60, 2017. And that's your 2017 there. So any pullback, we want to be going back up again into the market. And this was the logical place yesterday because we had that PST level, the weekly, and the gap refill. Okay, so the market filled in the gap as well and just slided up. And that's your Astro hour. So this was the level where going up was the way to go. Okay, if you also waited for the closing, that was the top of the day, and then this is the opening. This was also a good, nice, strong hour. It's a powerful level. If you've learned astrology from me, you would have been on top of that with your main planets in the opening. Okay, and that's that. But that target is done. So what we want to do is if the market comes back down again, so we want to go back up, right? So I'm going to now change that because this is done. Okay, so we can now get rid of that. We can also get rid of that. Now that we've got room to go into that 2017, what you want to look for is any pullback. It could be the daily pivot as well, because that's the low of Asia, as you can see. So if it comes back down to retest that, it's okay. The opening and the daily is good to buy at Astro hours. Okay, now today the sky is a bit tricky, it's a bit weird, and the New York session is a bit weird as well. So, um, so what? The markets can be weird every day, but um, what can I say? Just trade off the Astro hours according to technical analysis. So on the pullback, we would like to push back up. Now the market can also pick up from here. As you can see, this is a place where the market picked up. This is a place where the market kind of broke out, as you can see here. So it might not pull back a lot, but if it does come back down into this zone here, okay, the middle zone, or down here, I think at Astro hours, you're good to buy. I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need that. Now it's over. It's already done its job. On the daily, as you can see here, there's not much room to pull back to. 61.99 is 1988. So 1988, I'm just going to put this 1988 down here. The reason I'm going to put it here is, okay, if the market mucks around here and at Astro hours we're here, then buying here is also not a bad idea because this is the goodbye kiss of the PST level. Then if it does that, this is the zone you're going to keep in mind, okay, to go back up again. Obviously the safer is the Asia low. If it comes back to retest the Asia low, buying again is going to be like a really, the way to go. If you're using your 80 AM strategy, you can also wait for the pullback on your charts, match it to the Astro hours. When we're at the Astro hours and the PST is down at the target, you can push up. SP 500, let's take a look. Now with the SP 500, we said we're at this zone here, so we need to be careful. And yesterday I've marked in targets where the market can sell off from. And remember I said yesterday is a swing day for SP 500. Okay. So Monday is a swing day, and if you sold here at the Astro hour, you should still be okay, I'm thinking, or your stop loss is pretty tight, because I said these will be targets here, and we'd like to sell if the market comes up into there, and that's exactly what we'd like to do, and this is about it. Okay, so the market did go up into that zone, so wanting to sell here is okay. Is there a bit of a gap here? It looks like it's a bit filled out, maybe maybe a little bit, but well, it's filled into there. What's that? 78, 4, 5, 60. Let's see. If it still gets up a little bit at Astro hours, I'd still be a seller on the indices. All right. So on the indices, I'm still in sell mode. What you can do is, if the market, comes up in the New York session, you can also sell. Be mindful, it's Thanksgiving on Thursday, half day Friday. So if you're going to open up a position, just, make sure you're aware of the market closing this week in the US. All right. And that's basically it. Just follow this down. Yesterday, as you can see, this was the Astro hour. The market was going sideways. Nothing really to do here. Okay, because the market was going sideways. So I did say if the market comes down first, we can go up in order to sell, or if we go up first into a target, then you can sell off. So from here at the Astro hours, you can see the market broke out from the PST level, just went up to the next target. So not much to really focus on here on the pullback, because that pullback didn't really happen. If it had come down here first, a little lower, then pushing up would have been okay. But you see, it's just like in the middle of nowhere. So once again, if we go up again, get into the PST levels, we can sell off. These are the 3 levels we've got. Euro dollar, same kind of thing here. I drew this line specifically yesterday because of the gap, and I said it might just do that. So be careful. Let's take a look here. Okay, these are the Astro hours yesterday. Once again, it's a little blurry. If you sold here at the Astro hour, you would have been stopped out pretty closely as well. So if you sold here, let's say on this bar you sold, you would have been stopped out because your stop loss should have been just above there. So it wouldn't have caused a big damage to you. But that was the target. Remember, we were talking about yesterday, and I did put that in there, 1.0965. Now, if you've learned astrology, if you know astrology like the way we're doing it at the Global Trader Club, you would also, I could just say to you you could open your Astro software, and you can see here a few good things that will happen, which is going to be 505. So this is actually an Astro hour right there. Okay, and that's the price target. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and also another Astro hour is, yep, that's 6:0, yeah, 10 past 6, basically 5 past 6, 10 past 6 is the way to go. Okay, and then the trigger should be 7 a.m., actually 20 past 7, which is right there. Okay, 19 minutes past 7, that's your trigger there. Okay, and that's where the market's just at the target there. That's beautiful. Okay, so if you've learned financial astrology, you would have already been on top of that. I didn't give you those hours today simply because I'm doing the video now in 7:41. Okay, but if you know financial astrology, you would have already figured that out. So you see, when time meets Astro hours, those are the places to be trading. As you know, with the euro dollar, we're looking for sell positions from the high here. So it's burst above there. That was the gap that it filled. So I'm going to get rid of that now. Now that that gap is filled, okay, the selling is going to be somewhere around this bar here. Okay, and that's basically it. So any push up into a zone, we're okay to sell. On the weekly, there are no targets there. Okay, and on the, let me just check the monthly, because we had that monthly level, didn't we? 53, 1013, all right, which is there. That's the monthly level. That's sellable. So anything between here is sellable, including this 1.0965, and that's a nice Astro hour. If you got an Astro hour here like this, your stop loss should be just above there. It shouldn't be too far out, because if we did make a mistake, what is going to happen is we're just going to get stopped out with a very small amount. But if we're correct, that should flow down into at least this level here, which should bring us to also the opening, the low of Asia, or the daily pivot from today. Okay, so if that happens, it should just sizzle down and you should be able to cover your trade into there. Okay, so that's one zone, but we should come back into the opening or the daily pivot. Okay, so let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. Also remember the swing day for the euro dollar is Monday and Tuesday, right? So yesterday and today. Now it didn't make that target yesterday, but it did today. So we're expecting swings on the euro dollar Monday, Tuesday, and also tomorrow. Okay, so any push up for us is good to sell at those PST levels. Also, if you're using your ATM strategy, you can do the hourly. And on the hourly, whenever there's like a retracement, a resistance level matches a daily or a weekly, or it matches an Astro hour, selling is not a bad idea because once you have a bias in that direction, you can basically just use those levels. Or, like I always say, wait for the reaction and then sell on the retracement. So both are doable. All right, so let's wait for these charts to open up. So let's take a look. This is Dow Jones. All right, this is a zone here. We're right on that line there, as you can see. Okay, so that's pretty nice to see where the wicks have met. So this was the zone yesterday. We had that target there. Okay, so nice and easy. This is again a place where the market can pretty much take a reversal. Now, yesterday, if you take a look, right, this is 235 on the platform. We had 135 on the platform there. Okay, so that's that. But that's the PST level which we said we could come down to. So if the market dips down in order to go up, that's also okay. We talked about that. And this is here 315. I didn't have anything for 315 yesterday, interestingly enough. 315. No, I had 230, which is 130. And that's basically it. And then we had 530, which turns out to be 430, which is this. Okay, so could have still entered here. This is the 430 bar on the platform, which is the 530. And we didn't have a 530. Wait a minute, my apologies, 630, which is that one there. And that's the breakout. We could have actually had this one as well yesterday. We could have had this one. Okay. And that's that. And that's when the breakout happened there. Okay, so change, yep, a logical change there on the, okay, so this is where the breakout happened. It went to the target, which is fine. And this is again what I said yesterday. If we come down first, you can go up into the target and then sell off. Also, if you take a look at Dow Jones, the important swing days for Dow Jones is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday. But with indices, guys, you've got to be careful with the indices, remember, this week. Now with US 30, we're in this zone. So still, in my opinion, is a sell zone. The market should sizzle down. Okay, and we're looking to sell. And today's not a bad day either. If I can just get my hands on this. No, maybe not. Okay, let's just expand that into there, actually. Into that bar there. Okay. And that's that. Where was it? Well, somewhere around here. Okay, so that's that. So anyway, in this zone, we're looking to sell at Astro hours. Should it make a rush up? 35,460, 35. If it does a spike, up, something like that, this is going to be a sell zone. Okay. I don't want to say it won't because market has sudden moves, but I don't see a sudden move in the market with astrology today. I don't see, like, sudden hectic movements happening today. But New York opening is a bit tricky. Pre-session and opening is a little bit tricky. So if we're at the highs, though, I'm like shorting it. Okay, shorting is the better way to go from these levels into these. A lot of gaps there. The market should come back all the way there. Maybe that'll be by the time it's spring, but then the market should also pick up afterwards. So we should have a bullish 2024 once we get to the spring of 2024. Nasdaq, same here. As you can see, that's a good push up actually. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, and that was the look at those, the targets there. Yesterday, I also said it's like we've got targets which are like way, way up there. It's a bit high, but that's how it is. Look, this is the market coming up in there. And the closing is, yesterday I did say, what was it? 10:45. Okay, so that's 10:15. 10:30, 10:45, that's your opening there, and the market comes into this right at the target there. So, following it to the astro hour, to the target, is like, pretty cool, in my opinion. And also, let's see where we're at here. This is 3 o'clock here. That's 2:35. We're looking at 1:35. 1:35 is there once again. And then we've got 5:25. This is 4:30. I actually could have put 4:30 in there. I wonder why I didn't do that. Okay, there. And then let's see, that we didn't have, but this pullback is 5:25. That's your 5:25 there, because we had 6:25, which is 5:25 on the platform. And then this is your 5:45, which is 6:45 UTC plus 3. And you see the market just starting that big push up, going all the way into that target. So this zone, in my opinion, is still like a sell zone. So we want to be looking at a place where we can sell off. Okay, I've marked this zone in before. You should be aware of it because there's a gap there. Market might want to fill, but in any case, any fill in, we want to be looking at, like kind of reversing. Okay, and that's the same here. So this zone is still a reversal zone for me. This is the first spot, 77, as you can see there, which is a price of 16,049, which is pretty much 16,049 is pretty much done. Let's do this 16,049. All right, so that's pretty much done there. And that's it. So if the market does want to sell, this is not a bad spot to sell at astro hours to push down. Your first port of call should be the daily pivot. I can now get rid of this, okay, because this is where the market jumped up. If it breaks below that, we should head towards this 15,850 zone, sizzling down into that zone. All right. If you want also, like I said, with the indices, you need to be careful this week because we could get sloppy and choppy, especially with the holidays and the half day on Thursday and Friday. So you might want to just, be a bit more mindful and just wait for the market to do what it needs to do. There are still targets up here on the weekly. So if it keeps pushing up, don't be surprised, because when there is a PST level, it's like, it could get there. So I wouldn't really, say, oh, I'm going to short and give it everything I've got. Don't give it everything you got. Just be smart. Wait for those reactions, the retracements to happen. At the end of the day, though, selling in this zone is not a bad idea. If it breaks out and above, just step back and wait, because you're going against the move. Bitcoin, same kind of thing. Yesterday I said with Bitcoin, maybe you want to just chill out. You don't want to be selling around here, obviously not. This would be a buy zone because it's right on the PST, as you can see, and the market is pretty much in that zone. And yesterday, let's see what time that was. That's 3:05, which I didn't have. 2:35 would have been right there. Okay, so 2:35. It's going to be 1:35 here, which is there. Okay, so the market dipped down a little bit. They sold a little bit here. And then, what's that? That's 5:05. 5:25. 5:25 is there. Okay, so not really anything happening here. Okay, but with Bitcoin, I did say you can chill out a little bit because the targets are a bit up there. If we get up into a target, then selling off is a better idea. So this is why I said yesterday as well, maybe you just want to just let this go a little bit, wait for a reaction to see how things pan out. Okay, other than that, not much to do. If we break below this swing here, then obviously a retracement is good to sell. 76, keep it on the cards. 40,640. Okay, if it does get there as a sell level, 4,640. Okay, and if you want to target that, what you've got to do then, if you want to target it, you've got to buy on the pullbacks. Okay, you have to buy on the pullbacks, but I don't see a lot of excitement happening here. Okay, I just don't. Was also, just bear with me. Well, I'm going to give you the Astro days as well, but what's interesting is the 23rd is going to be interesting. Okay, so look out for the 23rd of November, which is going to be Thursday, and it's a holiday. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so just look out for that day for this week. And that's basically it. And we could have a new beginning on the 27th as well, 27th of November, which is obviously going to be next week. Okay, that's that. And the 22nd, also the 22nd, which is going to be tomorrow, New York opening is going to be interesting for a reversal as well. So keep an eye out for that. This is why I've also said, you don't really have to rush stuff a lot. We've got things happening which are a bit more prominent in the sky. Okay.